Have you ever wondered what the final message of a prophet to his people would be? Imagine a scene. Over 100,000 people gathered, listening intently to the words that would echo through generations. This was the farewell pilgrimage, the last Hajj of Prophet Mohammed. Peace and blessings be upon him. A moment in history so powerful, its lessons continue to shape the lives of billions today. In the 10th year after the Hijrah, the migration to Medina, the Prophet announced his intention to perform the Hajj. This news spread like wildfire, and Muslims from all corners of Arabia flocked to join him. It was a journey of immense significance. For many, it would be their first and only time to see the Prophet, and for him, it would be his last. This wasn't just a ritual, it was the culmination of his life's mission. The journey began from Medina. The Prophet, along with his family and thousands of companions, set out towards Mecca. As they traveled, their numbers swelled. People left their homes, their businesses, their daily lives, all for the chance to walk alongside the man who had brought them from darkness into light. The air was filled with chants of Labbaik, Allahumma Labbaik. Here I am, O God, at your service. It was a profound declaration of submission and devotion, a chorus of hearts united in a single purpose. Upon reaching Mecca, the Prophet led the pilgrims through the sacred rites of Hajj. He performed the circling the Kaaba, the ancient house of worship built by Abraham and his son, Ishmael. He performed the sea, walking between the hills of Sofa and Mar, reenacting the desperate search for water by Hajar, Ishmael's mother. Each ritual was a step back in time, a connection to a long lineage of faith and perseverance. The Prophet performed these rites with humility and grace, teaching his followers every step of the way, ensuring the traditions would be preserved perfectly. Then came the pinnacle of the Hajj, the day of Arafah. On the 9th day of the month of Dhul Hijjah, the pilgrims gathered on the plain of Arafah. It was here, atop a small hill known as Jabal Allah, the Mount of Mercy, that the Prophet delivered his final sermon. This wasn't just a speech, it was a charter for humanity, a final testament delivered to the largest gathering he had ever addressed. Imagine the silence as his voice carried across the vast crowd. He began by praising God, then turned his attention to the people. He said, "O people, lend me an attentive ear, for I know not whether after this year I shall ever be amongst you again. Therefore, listen to what I am saying to you very carefully and take these words to those who could not be present here today." The weight of those words must have been immense. His companions, who had fought beside him, celebrated with him, and learned from him, were now hearing what sounded like a farewell. The Prophet then laid down the foundational principles of a just and compassionate society. He spoke of the sanctity of life and property. "Hurt no one so that no one may hurt you," he declared, establishing a universal principle of peace and non-aggression. He abolished the old system of interest-based transactions, which exploited the poor, and called for an end to the blood feuds and cycles of revenge that had plagued Arabia for centuries. He was building a new world based on justice, not vengeance. One of the most powerful messages of his sermon was about equality. In a society deeply structured by tribe and lineage, his words were revolutionary. He said, "All mankind is from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have any superiority over an Arab. A white has no superiority over a black, nor does a black have any superiority over a white, except by piety and good action." He shattered the idols of racism and nationalism with a single, clear statement. True worth in the eyes of God is based on character and consciousness of Him, not on race, wealth, or status. He then turned to the rights of women, a topic of great importance. He urged the men to treat women with kindness and respect, reminding them, "You have taken them as in trust from God, and you have made their persons lawful unto you by the word of God." He outlined their rights and responsibilities, establishing a framework of mutual respect and partnership within the family, a stark contrast to the prevalent customs of the time where women were often treated as property. The Prophet also emphasized the 5 pillars of Islam, the declaration of faith, performing the 5 daily prayers, giving in charity, fasting during Ramadan, and performing the Hajj for those who are able. He reminded the people that these pillars were the foundation of their faith, the core practices that would keep them connected to God and to the community. As he spoke, he asked the massive crowd, "O people, have I faithfully delivered unto you my message?" The valley thundered with a single, unified response. "O God, yes." The prophet, looking up to the heavens, said, "O God, bear witness." He repeated this 3 times, a solemn confirmation that his mission was complete. It was at this profound moment that a final revelation came down. A verse from the Quran was revealed, which declared, "This day I have perfected for you your religion and completed my favor upon you, and have approved for you Islam as your religion." This verse marked the completion of the divine message that had been revealed over 23 years. The guidance was now whole, a perfect and complete way of life for all of humanity. Imagine the emotion of that moment. Joy that the religion was perfect. Sadness at the realization that the prophet's time with them was drawing to a close. Umar ibn al-Khattab, one of the closest companions, famously wept. When asked why, he said that after perfection, there can only be decline, understanding the deeper meaning of the prophet's farewell. After the sermon, the prophet completed the remaining rituals of Hajj. He had shown his followers the way, not just through his words, but through his actions. His Hajj became the blueprint, the standard by which millions upon millions of Muslims would perform their own pilgrimage for centuries to come. A few months after returning to Medina, the Prophet Mohammad, peace and blessings be upon him, passed away. But his final message at Arafah did not die with him. It became his legacy. It is a message of unity, justice, equality, and compassion. It's a message that reminds us to honor our trusts, to care for the vulnerable, to treat each other with kindness, and to judge people not by their appearance, but by their character. The farewell sermon is not just a historical document. It's a living guide. Its principles are as relevant today as they were over 1400 years ago. In a world often divided by race, wealth, and nationality, its call for universal brotherhood is a powerful remedy. In a world where injustice and exploitation still exist, its call for economic and social justice is a beacon of hope. The story of the last Hajj is a reminder of the transformative power of faith and the enduring legacy of a leader who was, as the Quran describes him, a mercy to all the worlds. His final words were not for a specific tribe or a specific time. They were a gift to all of humanity for all time. Thank you for watching. If you found this story inspiring, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the depths of history and faith. Let us know in the comments which part of the farewell sermon resonates with you the most. See you in the next video.